I'm Pete. This is Aaron. It's
Yes.
Philly Sports Guys. It's been a crazy week in sports, in general, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Happy that you could be with us and join us. And we're going to start it off today, leading off with the Phillies.
Yes.
We had an incident last Saturday with Ryan Howard.
Which I feel some type of way about that. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, just kind of give you. I'm gonna let Aaron go into a little bit more,
No,
but
no,
I'm just gonna give you the outline. Ryan Howard apparently had a bottle thrown at him. I don't know if it was a plastic bottle, metal bottle. However, it was a bottle that was thrown at the players. Done a lot for this city. And Aaron, how did you feel about that?
I felt it was very disrespectful. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never liked the way a lot of Phillies fans treated Ryan Howard. And listen, Ryan Howard has his issues. He has some issues here and there, but let's keep in mind he is one of the greatest first basemen ever. Probably one of the greatest Phillies ever, right?
He's in the top 10.
He's there.
He's the greatest first baseman we've
he's
ever
somewhere,
had.
and my producer may not agree with me, but he's in there. He may not agree, but he's one of the greatest. Let's say the greatest first baseman ever.
He's the greatest first baseman.
I don't know any other Philly that's better than him, but just the way he's been treated, just the way his name has been smeared the last couple of years. He has some family issues, and just the way the people have treated him. I really feel some type of way about that. And then that was just with this incident right here. This was the icing on the cake. And let's just keep it real. I'm just being honest. Chase Utley is beloved. People love Chase Utley.
He's going there, people.
And I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go all the way there. But I'm just saying, just the way they treat Chase Utley compared. Let me just ask this question: would they have thrown a ball at Chase Utley?
It would have been kind of hard to throw a bottle at Chase Utley because he's at second base. You had a pretty good.
That's very good.
He had a pretty. Yeah.
He hit the ball.
Well,
He was running.
he was running to first base. Our producer said, Keith said, that Howard's running to first base and his path, the fan through the bottle.
But my question is, I'm just looking for somebody to answer this for me. Would they have thrown a bottle at Chase Utley?
That's up for debate.
That's a question, right?
That's up for debate. That's one way to look at it. I'm looking at it from is why, as Phillies fans or fans in general, now this one J.O. is now going to give the rest of us a bad name.
A bad name, right?
Because as Howard's comments stated that says that I've done too much for this city, for these fans, to get treated like that. And he's telling the truth. And it's just one bad decision on one fan is going to give Philly the national outlook already.
Well, let's keep it real. We have the bad name already. Santa Claus, all the other things that we've done.
The batteries at J.D. Drew.
Booing Michael Irvin when he's on the carpet laying almost half dead, whatever. I mean, we have, and this just puts on more fire. Fuel to the fire. It just really does. I mean, it's despicable. It really is.
And with that said, that you saw the Phillies fans resilient to how most of us as Phillies fans feel about Ryan Howard, because the next time he came to the plate, he was standing ovation.
Yes.
And look, this whole situation, he knows what the situation is, how ultimately it's going to be turned out, and we know, and he's handled it with extreme class.
Yes.
It's very hard for someone in his position with that ego to handle it with that much class.
Right.
But he has done that.
And the writing's on the wall. Let's keep it real. I think he's pretty much done. I mean, somebody may salvage something out of him. He may have a little bit in him. American League team might grab him. But I mean, he's done, I think. But my thing is just. And again, like you said, it is one bad apple.
Right.
But there is a negative stereotype. Let's just keep it real. And it's been like that for years with Ryan Howard. It has been. But let's just set him off with dignity,
Right. And now speaking on that, to segue to our next point, the other side of this is Tommy Joseph is the replacement. So before, we always used to have this argument and this debate about Ryan Howard and his lack of production.
Yes.
There was no one ever there to be his successor at first base. You now have that potentially in Tommy Joseph, who in his first 21 games, he had 2 home runs last night, has a total of 7 home runs. I don't know his RBI number, so I just wanted to shoot those numbers out there. And Pete McCannon last night, after the loss to Washington, said, look, he hates to have to deal with the situation. He understands how Ryan Howard stands and his importance to the organization and what he's done in the past. But he also knows this is a year the team looking to rebuild for the future. Right. And he feels that now Tommy Joseph is a part of that future.
Yeah.
So
and it's a tough situation for him.
It is a tough situation.
It really is a tough situation to have him out there. And was it Tojo they call him? That's his nickname.
Tojo,
whatever it is. But right now he's playing well. It's a tough situation for Pete. But unfortunately he's in that situation. Howard's in the situation, and Tojo's in the situation. As a professional, you have to just deal with the situation and handle it correctly. The correct move is is unfortunately to buy him out.
So right
Ryan
now,
Howard.
we're going to do a PSA to Matt Klentak,
Yes.
the first-year general manager of the Phillies, 35 years old, and Andy McPhail and John Middleton. Look, you guys need to get together and figure out an amicable way that the Phillies organization and Ryan Howard, as a person, as a player,
Right.
can mutually break up and part ways.
Yes.
And whatever that value amount is $1. I mean, if I'm Ryan Howard, I'm not walking away from $35 million sitting on the table.
That's a lot of money right about now.
So you pretty much got to force me out. So, but if you're willing to, we can come to an agreement. And
Right.
I don't even think that discussion has been brought on the table, which is the alarming part.
It hasn't been.
Because this situation is not going to go away.
I think they just want to. I think they want to let it play out. That's why.
But you can't let it play. So I
that's
mean,
my
if Ryan Howard's cool with just sitting on the bench, which I would be if I'm making $25 million, I don't have to play.
Listen,
spot hit here and there.
getting water for float. What you need? What you need? Hadubo Herrera. What you need, buddy? You need some gum. You need some seeds. What you need? I'm sitting right on the bench chilling.
That-
25 million.
So this situation is going to develop.
Man.
I think it's going to develop pretty fast, hot and heavy before we get to the trading
Right.
deadline. Maybe before we get to the All-Star break, because Tommy Joseph he's shown you
Yeah.
his potential and what we wanted to see. Now, with that said, we had Vince Velazquez.
Yes.
Made a start on Thursday.
He got chipped up.
No, Wednesday, I think. Wednesday, he made a start on Wednesday.
Yes.
Threw 2 pitches. Now he's on the DL
Yes, he did.
with bicep soreness. They recalled Luis Garcia. Zach Eflin is going to make his pro debut, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday this upcoming week. With that, so there's a lot of promising things. There's some negatives. Vince Velazquez, the Ryan Howard situation, a bottle being thrown, which there's been a lot of coverage on that, so we don't want to seem like we're too far back on that.
Right.
But there was something recently that happened on Thursday. We took Mickey
what was that?
Moniak.
Yes.
First overall pick in the first year MLB player draft. And the baseball draft is a little bit different from the other pro
NFL
sports,
and NBA,
NFL, NBA,
Right.
NHL. Is we may not see him for 2, 3, 4 years. The only reason why you see Aaron Nola now is because he came out of college.
Right.
He was
more
college
seasoned,
players
more
are more ready.
Yes, absolutely.
So Mickey Moniak, 17 years old. The last time we had an overall pick in 1997 with
Pat
Pat
the
Burrell.
bag, yes, sir.
Mickey Moniak wasn't even born then. High school kid out of California. But Kibitz compared to Steve Finley, Christian Yelich. It's just like our luck where we had the first overall pick. There wasn't a home run.
It wasn't a Bryce
overall player like a Bryce Harper
or
like
Strasburg, any of those guys.
Nothing like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they had a different choice. And they kind of drafted, I want to say for need, they have a lot of young arms.
Right.
And
But what does that? Quick question. What does that mean? Like, think about it. Now that you're saying that, what does that mean for Herrera? Like, where do you put Herrera in the right field? Like, you know.
Well, I think Herrera he's adaptable to go right field, left field, so you can do that.
Yeah.
Because Moniak does play center field. That's the reason why.
That's what he's gonna be, right? And he's known for his defense.
knows for his defense,
First
makes
step.
good contact,
Right.
short
Good arm.
swing.
Right.
So we could definitely build on that.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
could definitely build.
But
on
I think
that.
the main thing is we need some bats, man. We got
And that's why they took
gotta-
the first overall.
We got to get some more bats because I mean, even when we had our core for the last couple of years, they were here. You know, the Rollins
Right.
and Howard and Utley. The problem that we had in those series against the Cardinals and the Giants, we couldn't get no runs. We couldn't get anything going. So now our pitching going forward, our pitching's going to be great. I think our pitching's going to be good. We have a lot of good arms, but we need some power hitters. We need some, and then we got the guy with the pop and the young guy Moniak Joseph. So I mean, we just got to build on getting some bats as well, because I mean that's the key, you know.
Right.
So we'll see.
So, look, that was leading off. We're going to set up the rest of the show for you. We're going to go take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals, Game 4, Game 3, what we've seen so far, the upcoming Sixers draft.
Yes.
Then we're going to hit you at the end.
With the Eagles.
Before we shut down and we close it out for the show, hit you with the Eagles minicamp. And then, obviously, the Nelson Aguilar situation that surfaced earlier yesterday. Later in the week, we'll give you our thoughts and opinions on that. So stick with us, Philly Sports Guys. I'm Pete. This is Aaron. We'll be back.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. the way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
Philly Sports Guys on the RVN, on SBC. We're back. And real quick,
Look, real quick, we're not all sports, but to my fellas out there, what kind of look is this?
you see this guy.
What kind of case is this?
You know what? You ever meet that guy that always, every time you do something, he just look for something? That's just this guy right here.
This is a technical foul.
Nah, how's it a technical foul?
That's a technical foul.
Listen, my man points ain't down that much. It's got a little light. I gotta be cautious. Safety issues. I could be in the dark. And, it's good to have. What you try to say? My man points is down.
I don't have to say that.
So what you saying?
They are, you're yourself, and you're self-conscious. You already know.
See, I'm comfortable in my skin. But anyway, like I said, we're just gonna go right into it. This guy here. But NBA playoffs. Where did I start? Game 3. Cleveland Cavaliers looking like a fine old machine.
Came out,
had a great system flow, throwing the ball, passing the ball around. LeBron came out 32 points. Kyrie Irving was shooting the lights out, looking like Kyrie from back in the day.
Richard Jefferson gave a spark in the starting lineup.
And then, they look great, 30 points.
Well, I think at that point, Golden State realized, like, hey, these guys, they really want this game. They don't want to sweep. So they may have took their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. But that was Cavs' fortunate issue to do that, and then the Warriors didn't play smart on Wednesday.
Well, let's keep it real. They made an adjustment, too. Starting Jefferson, Kevin Love was out because of concussion. So, and it kind of shook things up, and it looked different. I think the Warriors didn't expect that. And then, fast forward to Game 4 yesterday, they looked good the first couple quarters, played well, kept the game close.
Right.
But then, as you always say, which I agree with you, they've started playing hero ball. I'll let you go into your segment here.
So, just to kind of give you a little bit of thoughts on Game 3, the Warriors kind of played right into the Cavaliers' hands. They panicked a little bit. They got out of the rhythm. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when you're playing basketball as a team at this level, you have to stay within the system or stay within the game plan. The Warriors got out of that in the Game 3, allowing the Cavaliers to 2-1 lead.
Right.
So going into Game 4 last night, coming out, it was a very much competitive game.
Yes, it was.
Most competitive game throughout the series.
Yes.
And Cleveland had the upper hand. Even the same game plan that they had on Wednesday night, playing the team defense, saw ball movement on offense. Mm-hmm. And this is without LeBron really asserting himself like he did on Wednesday night offensively.
Right.
I think through the first half he may have had like 9 or 11 points.
But you know what, though? And we talked about it a little bit earlier. And this is my opinion. I think LeBron is playing so many minutes. He's averaging like 40. I know you don't buy into it, but
right.
Let's keep it. Let's just look. I
don't think he's tired.
There's times I think he's more worn down.
Because going into this postseason, this is the least amount of minutes he played going into it.
Very true. Very, very true.
So people forget he's been in the league for 13 years. But
right.
So Game 4 ultimately it came down to the fourth quarter. It was a 3-point game, even deep into the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, and then there was just no flow on offense whatsoever. Kyrie came up, he was a ball hog, but LeBron didn't assert himself to even go get the ball to put himself in position on a low block to play off the ball. And that kind of goes on the players as well, but that goes on the coach, Tyronn Lue.
Right.
You have to force something within the system to have some type of structure to when all else fails, the team believes in it and they run a play. There was no plays being ran.
Absolutely.
At the same time, your opponent is coming down and they're still running the system.
And then the thing is against the Warriors, teams like the Warriors and the Spurs, teams like that, you have to share the ball.
Yes.
You have to run the plays. You got to keep the ball moving, keep it hot, as they say back in the day. I mean, and the thing is, when you're playing a hero ball, you're isolating. You got one guy on the island by himself, and then you got other four guys
just watching.
It's just not going to work. It's not going to work against those teams like the Warriors and the Spurs. And as we can see, it's not working.
Right. So that's the outside broad view of the game in itself, just looking at teams. Now we'll break it down a little bit more like we were doing. Steph Curry, Splash Brothers, Clay, who I think Clay's jumper is really getting close to Steph's. It may not be as quick or off the dribble, but it's just as effective.
Yeah.
They got it going. And then on the other side, this is where we really can break it down to, and hopefully we have enough time within this segment.
Right.
Is LeBron, I don't know. Like, it's, how can I say? Well, he's a great facilitator.
Yes.
But, dude, you wonder why people say what they say about you and you're not great and you're passive aggressive. It's because you'll always show a flash in the pan like you did in Game 3 when you really asserted yourself and you took the fight to the team. You took the fight to the defender. I had this watch 3 or 4 times last night. You get the ball at the top of the key. You don't even put the ball on the floor and you're looking to pass first. Listen, I understand.
So you think he became more passive? He He wasn't aggressive.
He wasn't. There's no way he was. He was nowhere near aggressive as he was in Game 4, as he was in Game 3.
I think what you're saying is right, but it comes to it. I just think that he's worn out. Plus, I think you gotta have enough cogs in the fight. You gotta have enough firepower. You don't have. But they only have. Think about it. Who do they have besides Kyrie?
But what Kyrie was good enough Wednesday.
But what I'm saying is, but that's you're talking about the longevity of the actual series.
But you
can't have two.
It was 2 games back to back.
But you can't have 2 players.
You had all the
momentum.
momentum. There was only
one
day
have a lot
rest.
of weapons, but you don't have a lot of weapons. What weapons do you have right now on the Cleveland? Besides Kyrie, what other weapons do you have?
Now listen, I get what you're saying, but I could trump that by saying, look, they were up in the third quarter by 8. And LeBron didn't give him anywhere near what he was giving him Wednesday.
But you're asking LeBron to do that every night. I don't think he's that guy anymore.
He was never that guy. That's the problem. Keith, was he ever that guy?
He was that guy in 07 when they went to the finals.
But he did that one game.
They just ran into a buzzsaw.
Who was he playing with?
The Cavaliers. They just ran into a buzzsaw.
But he did that one quarter in Detroit in Game 4. I forget which game, but he scored 25 in the fourth quarter.
He was younger. He was a younger guy. LeBron's played 13 years. Let's keep it real. LeBron is how?
But at least show me an effort.
Listen,
I understand
playing
what you're
a lot
saying.
of minutes because they're not deep enough. Think about this. Think about Golden State's bench. Golden State all together. Golden State's playing 10, 11 people deep. Cleveland's only.
That's not his fault.
But it's my point is they don't have enough irons in the fire, man.
They
have a Batman and Robin, but they don't have a
Superman.
Superman.
Not no Batman and Robin because Kyrie was as much to blame for the fourth quarter breakdown.
I understand, and that's why I'm saying you need to have somebody consistent. And Kyrie is okay here and there, but you need another guy. They don't have that. Think about it. Miami had who? Who did Miami have? Who was there?
They had Wade.
They had Wade and who else?
I can't even say they had Bosh.
Bosh stepped up.
But see, this is why I'm saying. Look. We were talking off topic, and I want to throw this out there. Every great player, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
It took me some time to think about this. LeBron was being destined to be great when he was a senior in high school.
Right.
Mike never had that. Kobe never had that.
Steph never had that.
Steph never had that.
Or Draymond.
So it's a completely different animal, and I'm not trying to make excuses for LeBron.
Okay.
But as the media itself, we've enabled him to have this, and it's been so much pressure.
Well, we created a monster. I agree with you on that.
And the reason why I say that is because, look, Mike was Mike. Don't get me wrong. But
Right.
Mike didn't win SHIT until he got in that triangle offense.
Very true.
Every great player at some point needs that coach to give them structure and a system.
I got you.
LeBron has never played in what you would call a system. It's always been LeBron's been too worried about branding,
but the question
been
is,
too worried about putting the team together.
Right.
He's never had a coach to put him in a system, and not only put him in a system to where it's consistently good, but that he trusts when all else fails. That's what they needed to do last night in Game 4, is that, look, things weren't working, shots weren't falling. You need to trust in that system. Why do you think Golden State is up 3 games to 1?
Because they trust the system.
One game they had the Splash Brothers. The other 2 games, it was the system.
Bench. Yeah, it was a bench. A system.
And
right.
it was I can't. Okay, go ahead.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, whatever, everything you're saying. Keith, did you want to ask somebody? I know. Take a little time out.
You know what? It's just funny over the last 2 weeks how the audience has known like it's been like really everything's been at me.
Yes, sir.
And now like the ship is sinking.
Yes.
And just like LeBron's, these guys are like fighting over whose fault it is. That's a perfect example of why Cavalier fans. Guess what? Start burning the cars now.
I mean, and the thing is, and Keith, I mean, you're totally right. I understand it, but the thing is, I feel bad for LeBron because LeBron, and I know people say,
I've never seen a player so talented.
Can I get
No.
I'm gonna get my point out. You take a break. You take it because you got to calm down a little bit. I've never seen a player so scrutinized the way he's scrutinized, and he's made some mistakes. I understand that, but if you think about it, I feel sorry for him because look at the teams he's ran into in the finals.
No, he's never been favored. I'm not saying that.
But look at the teams. But look at the teams he ran into 2 great Spurs teams.
Right.
Dirk, who played out of his mind, probably won.
They should have won that one.
The Dirk one?
Yes, they should have won that.
No, Dirk was playing out of his mind.
They should have won that.
I think Dirk had probably one of the top 10 playoffs ever.
They still should have won
in finals.
That's when he was favored. That's the only finals that his team was favored.
How many rings did Michael Jordan win?
6.
He won 6 rings.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you name the 6 teams that they beat?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Phoenix Suns was my team.
I can tell you in order.
Lakers.
Trailblazers. Phoenix Suns. Sonics. Jazz.
Yeah.
Okay, Jazz, Karl Malone days, right?
Yes, sir.
You can't tell me that the Jazz, they were a tough team.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. And those series were close.
All those series were close. They played tough teams. There was no.
Yeah, these are historic teams he played. These are historic. No, listen, you got a 73 team. So 73 game team. He's about to
Keith is setting up my points because look, when Michael Jordan came into the league, nobody knew he was going to be Mike. Yeah. And when Doug Collins was the coach, until Phil Jackson got there, Mike didn't know how to win. He never got farther than the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
He couldn't get past Detroit. And then he started to believe in the system and
I agree with you on that. So when it was Steph, people forget. Steph and Clay, yes. Draymond, yes. What they are now, yes. Yeah. They did not come into the league with those expectations. Steph wasn't
Go back and
no one of them D1.
Yeah. He was in Davidson. D1 from Davidson. Go back and read Steph's rookie prospect when he came out in his report and what he may be. Too small, not strong,
not
can't
quick
shoot,
enough. Yeah.
Can't get his own shot. He has something to work for. Now this does fall on LeBron for self-motivation. He's never really had to improve his game. And then when his jumper's not falling like it was in 2013 in Game 7 when the Spurs was daring him to shoot. Golden State's daring him to shoot, and he still won't shoot. He won't pull it. If you can't have the threat of an outside game and you constantly want to dip your shoulder and go to the hole, that's the defense is just going to bottle you up. It makes it so much more difficult.
And I think another thing, he just doesn't have a confidence in the other guys. I think he just, other than Kyrie, and Kyrie's not, Kyrie does his thing. He does well at times, but he's not consistent.
Kyrie put up 30 last night. I can't knock him that much because he was
well at times. He does.
He took the game right there.
The last couple games he played well, but my thing is he doesn't. Other than Kyrie, who does he have to consistently depend on?
You can't get that.
It's there. It's the proof of the pudding.
Because
who?
The pudding was good as hell Wednesday.
If that was an aberration, you can't say that.
On.
That was an aberration.
That's
you
terrible.
keep using
That's
that.
terrible.
I agree with you. That's an aberration. It's an aberration.
Game 3 was the
it was an aberration.
And then you can't discount the first 3 quarters of Game 4 last night. What happened?
Do you think the Warriors wanted to win?
The bottom line is at the end of the day, the Warriors is a better team, bro.
They are, but
that's just the bottom line.
But do you?
And I had to accept that. You're right. They're just a better team. They play better team ball. It's just too much. And LeBron doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough forces in the race. He doesn't have a team because he's never been tasked to have a team. That's what people don't realize. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson had no choice but their skills developed into what they are. That's true.
But they had to come into the league to play team ball. LeBron was given the throne before he even played his first game.
Unfortunately, that's what it is, man.
It fought on Dan Griffin in Cleveland for not realizing, look, to be honest with you, you asked me off camera, where do they go? You said Adam Melo and whatever. I don't think a player is going to do it. Be honest with you, this is what I think is going to happen.
But I think we're past that point as far as changing the system, adding the system. He's 32 years old. He's not
31.
He's
How
31.
long has LeBron
That's
been
not
in
going to
the
work
league?
anymore.
He's
You
been
say
in the
what?
league for 15 years.
Yeah, like 13 years, I think it
years.
was.
LeBron James?
He's been in
Yeah.
the league since
Came out of high
2003.
school.
Oh wow! So now listen. I always say this about everyday life.
Mhm.
You know, there's only so much you can blame on how you're raised or whatever.
Right.
There's a point where you just, you know what? When you get to a certain age in your early 20s, you kind of like you need to change, or you're going to
outlook.
always be that way.
True.
So to me, you've been in the league 12 years and you haven't learned that yet.
Right, and to speak on Keith's point, what happened with Jordan and Kobe when they got to that certain point? They developed a mid-range game. LeBron hasn't changed.
I'm not going to say that because
His shots got better, but
he's-
what's the go-to move he got?
he's developed a mid-range game, but sometimes he goes away. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mental. It's like he goes away from some of the things that's got him there. I don't know what it is. I think it's more mental.
So look,
I think it's
I'm
more
not
mental
a
than
LeBron. I'm
physical.
not a LeBron hater.
I'm a LeBron fan.
My eyes have been open to as why I've heard these arguments all the time about
Yeah.
LeBron this and how he disappears in big moments. And last night he disappeared. Whether it's a combination of things that made that happen.
Yeah, it's a clutch.
But when you see it in the finals, time and time again, after what he did in Game 3, you mean to tell me you can't give me 2 back-to-back performances like that?
No, can't.
So, but how can you be
can't.
called a great? How can you if you can't give me 2 back-to-back 30 a game performances in the finals?
I think-
How can you be called the best player in the league?
Oh my God! If we had a bell at the studio, I could ring it. I've been saying that. I want to play back the last.
So how
4
so
weeks.
as it is right now, is LeBron the best player in the league?
Not right now.
No.
Steph is right now.
I can't even say Steph because Steph just
Steph's in
showed
the
up.
system.
Steph, yes.
Hey, Steph was hurt and got his game back. Okay, but
No, Steph was. I mean,
there shouldn't
whatever.
even be such a thing as a best player in the league, MVP. There shouldn't be.
All right, so
I don't
I'll ask this question.
I don't know.
I'll ask you this question now.
Okay.
What's one of the more likely scenarios for the Cavaliers team next year?
Okay.
Will Kevin Love be on the team? Will Carmelo be on the team?
Mm-hmm.
Will LeBron be on the team? Because he does have
He
the
has
option.
opt out, right?
He can opt out.
Yes, he can.
Or
With Kyrie.
with Kyrie, or do they? You've already said you think a player.
Yes.
Look, I think LeBron needs to look inside himself and say, look, in order for me to do this and win another one, or win it here in Cleveland, I need to have a coach with some structure in the system, because no matter what they do, he needs to figure either
So
they.
you're saying fire Lou now?
He's not a strong personality. You said perfect candidate.
It's
Mark Jackson.
To
To me, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson doesn't get enough credit. He built that Golden State
He built that
team.
Golden State team, absolutely. But
He built that
My
Golden
God.
State.
but is Mark Jack? But here's the question: is LeBron going to set Mark Jackson?
He ain't got no damn choice.
I think he has to. He has to.
That's what I'm saying. He
He
ain't got no
has to.
choice.
It's time that he stops
Yes.
running the team.
Yeah, he's got to stop
Okay,
that.
it's proven.
He's got to
Okay,
fall
and
back.
one other
He's got to
thing
fall
just
back.
gotta
I agree with what
say,
you're saying. I agree with what
and
you're
I
saying.
won't say anything else
Okay.
anymore. But anybody in the audience, if you know where the best steak is served, please let me know, because they're going to owe me a steak dinner. Please hit me up on Facebook on Radio Vision Network and tell me where I can go to get a nice steak.
So that's funny. So just to answer your question real fast, because I know we got to move on. I think Kevin Love's going to be going next year for sure, because he does not fit. He just doesn't. He doesn't have that. And one thing Deion Sanders, just real quick, Deion Sanders always said, and I respect what he said. He said you gotta have that dog in you. And a lot of these guys don't have that dog in them. Kevin Love just doesn't have that dog in him. LeBron needs somebody.
Well,
Go ahead.
God, but do you think they've grown up because of everybody wins a trophy mentality? Like, do you think that is affecting? I mean, these guys are young enough
because
to-
LeBron had that dog in him. Well, LeBron needs somebody.
LeBron's got
needs-
to have supporting cast, man. He's got to have some.
but not just a supporting cast. He has to have a supporting cast that, like Dwayne Wade was,
Yeah,
who's a strong
and
enough
Bosh.
person and smart.
Yes.
Dwayne Wade, you saw what he did this year without Bosh,
Right.
without LeBron.
Right.
He, Eastern
listen,
Conference semifinals.
Let's keep real. If he had another thoroughbred, he would have been in Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron.
Yes,
But I mean, like I said, Love has got to be going because he just doesn't fit.
he doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit. And I think, real quick, if Carmelo, I think Carmelo's going to be there next year because I think New York needs to make that move, and then Cleveland needs to make that move. But Kyrie's a question mark, so we'll see.
All right, on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit, wrap up this, preview Game 5 on Monday night, potential game title winning Game 5 for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Hit you on the other side with some football, hit you with a little Sixers draft. I'm Pete, this is Aaron, this is Philly Sports Guys, we'll be back.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, This is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
You up here. Just kind of give you. I know last segment was crazy. LeBron and just seeing everything happen. And,
It's rough.
So we're gonna preview Game 5.
It's a wrap.
On Monday.
It's a wrap.
It's probably not looking good
It's a wrap.
for the Cavs.
It's over.
It's gonna be a lot of confetti.
Stick a fork in it.
Stick a fork in it. Done. Well done.
What's another one? Give me another one.
Turn out the lights. The party over.
The fat lady singing.
Fat lady singing.
Turn off the lights. Party. The party's over.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we'll leave that there with the finals. We'll recap it on next week's show. And NBA draft is 12 days away, June 23rd. Sixers have the first overall pick. Consensus has been Simmons still, in my opinion.
Yes.
As his shot will grow.
That's your boy.
I like
You really like this guy.
Simmons.
6'10", 250. I mean, I like him too, but I'm just scared, man. I'm really nervous about this.
Yeah, but that's what as Philadelphia sports fans, you're always gonna be like
nervous, man. I'm real nervous.
So there's no football.
No football.
And now to the start of training camp, we had the mandatory minicamp.
Yes, we did.
We spoke about it last week. I said I thought Darren Sproles would show up. He showed up. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised that Fletcher Cox showed up.
Very shocked.
On the first day, he released a statement saying we're working things out. Peter said he wants him there. I didn't really like Peterson saying that he didn't want to throw Fletcher Cox into minicamp because he missed the workout, so he didn't know where he was at. You're about to commit $100 million to this guy, possibly more, because you see Von Miller turned down a 6-year, $115 million deal with Broncos.
Crazy.
Really over the guarantee money. They're good on the years. They're good on the money amount. They're just not.
I mean, like,
they're not happy with the structure.
what does he want to make? $60 million? Is that what he really wants?
I mean, Marcel Darius got $60 million guaranteed.
Goodness.
Now
I didn't know he got $60 million.
Yeah, Von Miller got. They offered him $35 million guaranteed. He's worth more than that.
He's 39. But I mean,
I'm $39 million guaranteed. So that's $20 million short.
I agree with you because Marcel Darius is not Von Miller.
So Cox is here.
Yes.
We heard Doug Peterson speak. He spoke 3 times this week.
Yes, he did.
A couple players that kind of stood out for him.
Sammy Sleeves
stood out. Say he's a progression of offense. Leotis McKelvin. Say he looks like he's going to be a starting corner. And then that boy Jalen Mills. Still of the draft. The steal of our draft.
Real deal Holyfield. I'm telling you, he's going to be the real deal, man.
Right.
That's to be honest with you, that's going to be our Matthew. Tyrann Mathieu. He's going to be if they use him. Yes, if they use him the way Tyrann Mathieu. If you think about it, he's kind of the same player. Right. You can put him in different spots. If they take a page out of their book, we're going to be fine.
Okay. So that was the good of the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Now we have to get into the bad. Yesterday,
yes.
A report around 3:30, 4 o'clock came out that Nelson Aguilar, second-year wide receiver from USC,
I thought you should do that. Good.
First round pick from USC, 20th overall pick in the 2015 draft, has been accused of sexual assault and rape by a female dancer performer, aka stripper in the street, at Cheerleaders, which is right on Front Street, which is a couple of minutes away from the lake.
Yes, it is.
This happened supposedly the incident happened around 3:00 p.m. Thursday afternoon, right after minicamp was over, and the players, their free time now until training camp. Yeah. Has been reported, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not, but there has been multiple reports that the players that were with Nelson Aguilar at this time were Fletcher Cox, who's about to be paid, Connor Barr, who just got paid.
Yes. So there's a lot of money in there.
A lot of money in the building.
And
if you know, we've all been to strip clubs as men.
Well, I actually haven't, but go ahead.
You never been to a strip club?
Never been to a strip club.
Oh, my Lord. But yeah, he got this.
So go ahead.
You wonder why he can't get in a strip club?
Hey, you digress. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, turn that off.
Come on, man.
That's something you
turn it on, man.
That's something you would see in the strip club.
Okay, but go ahead. You're getting off subject. Come on, go ahead.
All right, so
I mean, stir them back on. Go ahead.
So females are there to really they look at you like you're a mark. You know,
I gotta just jump in real quick. My thing is, athletes all over the world listen to your boy, your nephew,
the boy who's ever been to a strip club.
I'm just saying, listen, just listen to me. Don't listen to him. Listen to me. You're a target. You're a target. When they see you, these Instagram models, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all women are like this, because there's a lot of good women out there. But a lot of these young Instagram model people, they're all out there, they're looking for the come up. You know what I'm saying?
They're looking for that sugar daddy.
They're looking for that sugar daddy. So when they see you, listen, I want y'all to listen. Where camera? I'm on 1 or 2. Where am I at? Okay. When they see you, okay, you're a target, you're a mark. All right, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
So with that being said,
hey,
out of those 3 players, why Nelson?
Why Nelson? That's a good question. Maybe they feel he's gonna be
a
good come up.
Now look, I have friends that are in law enforcement, and based on just preliminary. Now, once again, this is accusations, and I'll get into my point. As Aaron has said, he has his view on it. Nelson shouldn't have put himself in that situation to be there in the first place.
But my thing is, why? Okay, why can't you have something at your crib?
Because it's not.
Why can't you have something at a street or something?
The strip club is the atmosphere. It's almost like the barber shop. Like it's just. Until you in it, it's really hard to say.
I understand that, but my thing is though, you gotta be smart. You gotta put yourself in the right situation. You know what I mean?
No, I feel what you're saying. But also, look. When you're in a strip club and you're in a situation, and if you're fortunate enough to have the disposable income, to go to the boom boom room or the champagne room or that private room, and you fortunate enough. Now look, it's Thursday afternoon. We heard the rate was $1,400. I gotta assume that's for an hour or 2 hours. It has to be at least 2 hours. It's not even prime time for a strip club. So now, reportedly, Aguilar and the female went into the room.
Right.
And there was supposed to be a set price of $1,400. Right. And she left early. For what reasons, we are not sure. We don't know. So Nelson Aguilar only paid $800. So it's a $600 discrepancy. Now, the reason why, how can I say, sexual assault is a very delicate situation.
Yes, it is.
And I want to tread lightly when I say this. And I'm on the fence here. I'm not choosing one side over the other.
Because we don't have all the facts.
We don't have all the facts. But with that being said, you did say there's reported camera activity of what happened in the room, so all truth will come to light. Hopefully,
which when they do the investigation, they will find.
Right. So they did start a preliminary investigation. Nelson Aguilar has not been charged yet, but in the view of public opinion, Nelson Aguilar is already taking a hit. And in society today, we're such a type first. Twitter gangsters. Such opinionated, and say what you want to say because it's right there at your fingertips.
Right, and no one's going to come at you. Right. So you're going to say what you want to say.
And Nelson Aguilar, in a lot of people's minds and public opinion, is already guilty. Yeah. And even if it comes to find out that this is a false accusation, it's not enough, and it was consensual, whatever happened, Nelson Aguilar is always going to have this tied to him now.
Always. No way around that. It's sad. And it's just sad. Like you said, the world we live in, it's always going to be attached to them. But that's where I'm getting back to. And I'm not saying you can have fun. Ain't nothing wrong with having fun. I mean, you should have fun. Right. But you just got to put yourself in better predicaments. You know, when you go in certain places, you know, first of all, at the end of the day, she knew what the situation was. Right. And like I said, I'm not taking sides either because, sexual assault is a serious thing. But she knew what was the situation. But at the end of the day, he's got to just put himself in a better. I know. I'm hoping he learns from this and says, "Look, you know what? Let me do this other road. Let me go this other fork in the road instead of this fork in the road."
Right. So more information will come out. Now I will tell you, it is a little odd. I know it's sexual assault.
Yeah.
That male or female, you feel kind of. You don't want to come out. You don't think somebody's gonna believe you.
Yeah.
Or it's a little. It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
to leave the facility right away with the ride, not report it right away, not so much. I understand not telling your coworkers what happened, but not saying
telling your
anything
boss,
to
right.
your boss, to the owner, to the lawyer. They were aware. They were not aware of the allegations either. The first person. She went straight to the police. I understand that. But with that being said, this is just not a good look for you, Aguilar. Like, you can't put yourself in these situations. You got to be smarter. So hopefully everything, however it goes, if you did it, shame on you.
If you didn't do it, pay the time.
If you didn't do it,
yeah.
then look, you got to make smarter decisions.
Right. Make smarter decisions and work on your game. Like, we drafted you first round. Like, do
Well,
what you need to do on the field, man.
He's
Let's get
23 years
together.
old with money. Like, when you was 23 years old and you had that type of money.
I had that money.
But it's hard for us as working everyday people to work $1,400 for me. That's a
nice amount of change.
That's a significant amount of money. That actually is more money I got in my account right now.
my
That's after I
thing
pay
is-
my bills.
and-
but I'm just saying.
And I know you're 23 years old, and the thought pattern is different from being 35 or 37. I understand that, but listen, put yourself around people that's going to say, look, you know what? Hey, look, Nelson, you don't need to do that, buddy. Let's do this instead. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these people, and it's a shame, but
Women will prey on
they're
you.
savages. And I'm not saying all women are like that, but a lot of these young women, and anybody has
And young
Instagram.
is just old.
No, young and old.
Young and old.
But I'm
man.
saying
They're
my
trying
point
to get,
is,
they're trying to get pregnant.
They
Now to have a baby.
are trying to come up. It's a come up. If anyone has Instagram, go on. Listen, people out there, go on Instagram.
Ronnie Rose. This is the girl that game 2 last Sunday.
Go
had like
on
this,
Instagram.
looking at Steph Curry.
Yeah, these girls are savages.
Yes.
So I digress. Next point.
All right. So that's pretty much it for this week's show. We're gonna shut it down. We're gonna close it out. We do want to bring. I know we haven't done it in a while, but
yes,
we're hoping to bring this back on a weekly occurrence. And with the way the world is right now, people are doing stupid stuff.
There's a lot of them
in prominent positions. So we're gonna hit you with the YGTG. This is the first time hearing that. That's the You Got to Go.
Got to go.
So I pick one, a certain person. It could be someone from the entertainment world. It could be someone from the sports world.
Anybody that messes up.
Anybody could be a politician. Doesn't matter.
So be careful because we can get you.
So who is your YGTG for this week?
My YGTG is a gentleman that is a Cleveland Cavaliers fan.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say his name, but it's all over the internet. Everybody can see it. So this gentleman. Okay. So first of all, Steph Curry's sister Sidell is on Twitter and says, "Okay, we're going wheels up. We're going to Cleveland. Blah blah blah. We're leaving Cleveland. They're happy." So this guy says, "I don't care about you and your family. We can't stand you. I want you to leave Cleveland and I can't say the other F word, derogatory to your niece Riley Cooper." Right?
Riley Cooper.
I'm sorry, Riley Curry. Excuse me. All right, so it's derogatory.
The lights on his phone is messing with him.
Here you go. So then basically, another Warriors person says on there, well, how would you feel about?
He spoke about the fans' employer.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't want to throw the employer's name out there.
Yeah,
we want to be discreet.
Okay, we're being discreet. So they spoke about the employer. So the employer actually responded back and said, we don't condone what happened, the attack, and this person has been terminated. So at the end of the day, the gentleman was terminated, and at the end of the day, people, watch what you put on Facebook, Twitter, all the other media outlets, because at the end of the day, if you say something that's reckless, you're going to get fired.
Right. So speaking of media outlets and being responsible and watching what you say in your tone, that's one side of the view of someone who doesn't work in the media. This fan just really posted randomly, was thinking out loud, and now this is costing him his livelihood. Hopefully that fan has learned from his mistake and can fall back and jump back on his feet at some point. My YGTG, You Got to Go, is a reporter out of Florida, Emily Austin, sideline reporter for Tampa Bay Rays, and also the Orlando Magic during the basketball season.
Okay. Nice kid.
She was on a Facebook live stream with Barstool and said some things. She pretty much called Kevin Love a bitch. Didn't know where Mexicans came from. Has always said a Chinese guy would be the smartest guy in the class.
How could you say that? Like, I don't understand that. What do you think about?
And Dan Katz from Barstool pretty much said at the end of the live stream, he says, "Look, I think we're going to have to hire you because you're going to get fired."
Pretty much.
And ultimately, she got fired. So people, on this side of the camera, as we are involved in the media now, and people on the other side who are not, and you want to be involved in social media, just think twice before you type or before you think and you speak, to make sure that nothing can fall back on you, because it only takes, in this day and age, everything can get everywhere across the world.
And the thing is, even if you delete it, they can still
retrieve it.
So I mean, just think, like you said, think before you click.
Yeah.
And be smart.
Think before you click. Think before you speak. I'm
Be
Pete.
smart
This is
about it.
Aaron. This is Philly Sports Guys. We're out of here. Enjoy your week.